Hi everyone, it's Holly again. So obviously my last video was like an intro type of thing, so this one I'm going to make it based literally on how to be a cheap vegan. I thought I'd write a few cheap meal ideas so as you can get some ideas in your head. So I'd say for breakfast, really easy one, porridge. All you literally need is soy milk, obviously your oats, and then obviously you can top it with whatever you want. There's toast, simple one. I'd say toast because you can buy bread and you can freeze it and it will last a long time, so you don't necessarily need to worry about it going off. For lunch, I'd say really classic one that every person loves. If you don't like them, then you're just not living your life. Beans on toast. As I said, it's a very versatile one as well. Like, a lot of people do like beans on toast. It's pretty basic. If you're feeling rather homeless recently as a student, then that's the go-to. Chickpeas on like a jacket potato, like normal jacket potato or sweet potato jacket potato. So I would usually have seasoned chickpeas, so you can season whatever you like, but I use like paprika. The other day I used it with harissa seasoning. I use that, salt, pepper, soy sauce with it is really nice as well. You just like fry them essentially, just go a little bit like coated and brown, and then you put that on top of the sweet potato and it is honestly divine. It's so good. And the last thing is falafel pita with salad in it. It's a very nice one. So dinner ideas, I put chili, spag bowl, stir fry, curry. You can literally put anything in a curry and it'll probably taste nice. Pasta bake. I make a really nice pasta bake, but it does include Linda McCartney sausages or like any vegan sausages. Like a tomato sauce with like seasonings in, whatever seasonings you like. I put kidney beans in there and then I mix that up with pasta, put it in like a baking tray or something, and then I'll put like bits of sausages in there, obviously vegan sausages, and just put it in the oven and it'll brown and it's pretty good. Burritos, I think burritos are a pretty easy one. Butter bowls. A butter bowl is essentially just a big bowl of veg and grains and like protein, essentially. So you'll have like, you don't obviously need to use it like this, but the key is that you have your grain at the bottom, so like quinoa, rice, and like your greens, so like spinach or kale, bit of like sweet potato maybe, some tofu or chickpeas or beans as your protein, maybe some like sesame seeds or something, some hummus. Just literally like make your own butter bowl. Like you can literally just use anything. So if I've got loads of things left over in the fridge that I know that I won't use for anything else, I'll just cut them all up, put them in the oven or something. Or you can buy like veggie burgers and then put them on top with it as well, or as your protein items. Stew I think is a really good one to make, because as I said, it's the same with curry. Whatever veg you've got left, you can just put it in a stew. Stew, curry and butter bowls I'd say are the top tastiest and cheapest meals to make. Key cheap essentials I would say are frozen veg. The frozen veg to get are the greens, so spinach, kale, green beans and broccoli. They're the ones that keep the most nutrients. You're saving your money and they last obviously longer as well. You can obviously always get fresh vegetables, more fresh greens, and then freeze them, but I just think it's easier to buy them like this because most of the time you get more in them. So you'll buy like spinach. Obviously spinach comes in a massive bag, so it takes up loads of room, but with spinach you buy frozen, it comes in like little blocks. It's easy to keep in your freezer as well. So I'd say like most of them you can get for about £1. Chopped tomatoes, very important one. I would say I use chopped tomatoes more or less every day, just because they are literally the basis to your sauces or meals for everything. You can literally just season them to whatever type of meal you want to make. It's like Mexican, Italian, and they're obviously like really good for price as well, because in Aldi you can get them for like 30p. They're just super cheap. Vegan butter, I would say, lasts a very long time. Most vegan butter, I use vegan butter quite a lot though, so I've never really had it for long enough for it to eventually go off, but I've never seen vegan butter go off, personally. It's usually on offer for about £1 or £1.20, but most expensive I've seen is about £1.50, and obviously it lasts you a very long time. Somebody commented on my last video saying about this, which was very helpful, so thank you, Jodie. Sorry if you didn't want me to mention your name, but I thought it was very helpful. Asian supermarkets are great, honestly. You're going to spend like half the price buying double the amount of tofu in there. So if you do like tofu or you're wanting to try it, then Asian supermarkets are a good place to go to, because I was literally looking at a massive like block of tofu, literally like this big, and it must have been like £3, which is like, you probably get like 3 portions of the tofu that you can buy at Morrisons for like, I think Morrisons sell it for like £1.50 or nearly £2 or something for just a little block like that. So you're saving a lot of money. The other thing I think is very important is when people turn vegan, they think, oh, I need to buy all of these vegan items like cheeses and mock meats and stuff, when I know it's weird for me now because I think I don't crave them as much, but I can see if someone was turning from a meat eater into like a vegan, you'd be like, well, I need my meat, I need my cheese and stuff, because you'd be lost without it. So if you're turning vegan to make it cheaper, then you have to see those items as luxury items and essentially buy them once, like 1 or 2 of them once a week. If you have the money to, then try them. For all means, you know, it's exciting trying vegan items like cheeses and stuff. I mean, some of them you kind of regret, which is why I'd say see them as luxury items, because if you're spending your money that you don't really have on like a vegan cheese and you try it and like, oh, this is awful, then, but I'll recommend some of the cheeses and mock meats to try if you do try them, because there's some that aren't worth paying for, personally, I think. I mean, it's good that they're vegan and some people do like them, but I think transitioning from being a meat eater to going vegan, these are the items that people will find closest to meat and cheeses. It'll be an easy transition for you to go from that to a vegan. Or, like me, ask for loads for your birthday. I literally have a massive shelf of vegan items that I don't actually know if I'm going to use all of them. Well, I will, that's a lie. But there's like a lot of vegan snacks. I got some vegan cheese, wheat gluten, nutritional yeast, all that, like, because it's so much easier to ask for them as presents, because you know you'll use them, but you just can't afford to buy them yourself, so just ask them for presents. It's a good, decent thing to do. The cheese brands that I would recommend are Violife, all of the flavours except from the Parmesan one I wasn't keen on. That was the only one I'd tried and I was like, ugh. But it's only because Parmesan I think is a hard taste to get, like vegan cheese, because vegan cheese can sometimes be overpowering. I don't know what they put in them, but sometimes it can taste a little bit like thick, in my opinion. The original and the cheddar I think are amazing. The original would taste a little bit like cheese string, but it's a nice cheese and it melts as well. Won't like melt as in like move. It will stay in the same place, but it'll be slightly melted. So just take that into consideration. And the other one I recommend is Sainsbury's cream cheese. They have like a normal cream cheese, and then they have a garlic and herb one. So the free from cream cheeses in Sainsbury's are good. I've tried the vegan cheeses in Sainsbury's, like the hard form ones, and I'm not a fan. Personally, I just think they're an overpowering taste of like sick and feet. So it's personally not for me. Mock meats, I would say Linda McCartney. That's my favourite brand of mock meats, or fries. But Linda McCartney, some things say that they're vegetarian but they're vegan. Or a cheaper alternative, which I think are just as good. So Tesco or Morrisons' own brand of stuff. So I've tried like Tesco's sausage rolls, and they have like a pack of 30 of them, and they're vegan and they are just fine. They're so good. Also I think Morrisons is better for mock meats. Morrisons do things like a lot of burgers, they do sausages as well, so instead of Linda McCartney sausages, if you can't afford them, the Morrisons ones are a little bit cheaper, not much, but and they taste really good as well. So yeah, I'd say Morrisons is better for mock meats or, you know, vegan items, that are frozen stuff. As I said, Aldi is great, so definitely shop at Aldi if you have one round. If it's a long walk away, it's worth the walk because it has very cheap and fresh veg. They have falafel, hummus. They even have like vegan ice cream now, which is like coconut and chocolate or normal coconut. They have 59p soy milk, almond milk as well, which is like 10p more. Shepherd's pie mix, which is 29p, which is honestly amazing. Beans, chopped tomatoes, very cheap. Pita breads and wraps. They have a vegan garlic bread there. It's like, I think it's like 32p when me and Cam ordered, but that was on like an offer. But it was in like a white packet. It was just like one baguette of garlic bread. It's like one of the essentials things you can get from Aldi. And it's in like the fridge section, and it was 32p. So, and it's vegan, and it was great. So if you ever fancy a garlic bread with, you know, spaghetti bolognese, upgrade your meal. Obviously get frozen veg and frozen fruit there, which is loads cheaper than in Tesco and Morrisons. Like, it's ridiculous. Frozen fruit there is like, it's usually like £2 or more for like a little bag of frozen veg and frozen fruit, sorry. And I just think that's crazy. Whereas you can get like a little box full of frozen, it's like mixed frozen fruit, or you can get mango, strawberries, cherries. You can get them like separate, and I think the mixed ones are £1.50, and the separate ones, so like the mango and then the strawberries and stuff, is like £1.29 or something. So it's a lot cheaper, and they last me a very long time. One of the last things I'm going to say is the Vegan Kind. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They do a vegan subscription box, and it's £10 a month, and if you live in the UK it's £3.15 for post packaging, or you can buy the, like, for a yearly subscription or 6 months, you get your little box full of, I think it's 5 to 8 items a month, and it comes with snacks. It comes with, got some like little rhubarb and custard sweets. I got a mac and cheese like little pasta sachet thing, a porridge pack. But I got quite a lot of items, and I also got this book as well. So because it's Veganuary, they're giving like quite a lot of stuff out, and this is the Fat Gay Vegan book, which is, I've not read it yet, but it's going to be good because Fat Gay Vegan is just great. So yeah, you get quite a lot of good items in there. It's not just snacks. The box that I got this month, this is my first box I got, was like worth £22 something, and I obviously only spent like £10 on it, so it was good. It's very good value. I just wanted to say that because if you can't afford your luxury items once a week, then it would be nice to have that every month to look forward to, and also to keep you keen on like stuff that you're missing out on. So cheap ways to get protein. People think that, you know, oh, you can't get your protein, or, you know, the ways to get your protein is really expensive as a vegan. It's not. It's really not. So I'm going to give you ideas to get protein and get it cheap. So there's beans, chickpeas, lentils, mushrooms, spinach, cauliflower, oats and broccoli. I will link more in the description box below, just to, you know, give you all some better insight into it. But obviously there'll be a lot of more expensive based items that you don't necessarily need to get. As I said, you can get just as much protein in these items than you can from like tofu and stuff. Obviously there's peanut butter as well. Peanut butter has got a lot of protein in, so just take that in mind. If you love peanut butter, then you are winning at life. Yeah, I also want to say thanks so much to everyone who watched my last video. I can't believe I got 460 views. I cried just because I was pretty overwhelmed by the fact that people were actually interested in, you know, the vegan lifestyle. I found it very heartwarming to see that people were actually interested and so supportive of the fact that I wanted to express my passion and my opinions on veganism and try and influence and help other people do the same. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for everyone for just giving me the chance. Thank you so much for everyone who watched this video, and the other video of course. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.